I love to reclaim things. Humans have a quirk. We associate media, activities, even sensations and conversation topics with other things. People and places and times, definitely. There's an album, Rivers in the Wasteland by Need to Breathe. It's a big one for me. If I listen to it, or anything of theirs, for the first time today, it would go in one ear and right out the other without even leaving the faintest of impacts on me. But I listened to it for the first time when I was 16. It was summer and I was so happy. I was deeply in love with life. My faith in God was deepening every day. I was meeting amazing people at youth retreats, and I was learning what I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing. I hear any given song on that album, and I'm at Winding Creek Campground again. I'm a counselor, playing with and mentoring my kids. I'm circled around that big wooden cross on the hill, embracing my brothers and sisters in Christ as we sing worship songs and pray hours after our campers were put to bed. I'm being told by my elders and the pastors there that I have real gifts in communicating and witnessing, and that if I'm feeling called to ministry, I need to answer. I'm deciding that it is, indeed, what I need to dedicate my life to. All these sights, sounds, emotions, from an admittedly dated and largely average soft rock Jesus music record. My path has changed dramatically. I'm decidedly not pursuing ministry. My relationship with God is much different. A topic for another time, for sure. Spirituality, I mean. But I still listen to Rivers in the Wasteland a few times a year. It's a personal tradition to annually sit outside at night, sometime in July, and just listen to the whole thing, start to finish, with no other distractions. It's probably the most peace I feel during the whole year. I'd do it more often, but I'd hate for it to wear off on me. But I've digressed terribly. Reclamation, that's what this was supposed to be about. There are plenty of things that I've made associations between that are less nostalgic and comforting. Songs that were shared with me by people who would go on to do terrible things to me. Smells that bring me back to days in which I avoided being at home as much as possible. Even people that I saw a lot of in times when I felt like life was catching fire all around me. Association didn't deepen my love for these things. It tainted them, fundamentally. Things that I loved became obstacles in my life. I dreaded encountering them for fear of being struck with some kind of anti-nostalgia. I was afraid they'd send my mind hurtling back to the worst times in my life. And they often did. I couldn't give an accurate date exactly, but some random day in the past few years, I made the decision to get over it. As if it would be that easy. On days I was feeling strong and positive, I would go out of my way to engage with the things that carried those negative associations. Many of them were things I loved before I had them ruined for me. And I wanted to love them again. So I listened to the songs that reminded me of former partners, and I went back to the places that served as set pieces to my most tragic memories, and I reached out to the people who played the extras. And it was horrible. Deeply uncomfortable, frustrating, saddening, and even infuriating all at once. But I kept at it because I wanted to love them again. Even if it took me a while to recover after each brush with those memories, I made it a priority to embrace them again as soon as I was ready. I'm still working on it, but it's been extremely effective. I can engage with so many of the things that used to prod at the wounded parts of me. And not only are they painless, but I enjoy them again. Desperado by the Eagles makes me emotional for the right reasons. My favorite parking lot to eat fast food in feels weirdly cozy again. I can stand on a stage and look ahead to what's to come, rather than dwelling on what I failed to do before. I think I'll leave it as vague as that for now. I've seen a sentiment shared that goes something like, "We are all mosaics whose pieces come from everyone we've ever known." Romantic, but I hate it. Semantically speaking. It implies a level of passiveness in how your life is constructed. That we're stuck with the unchanging pieces that others place on our canvas. I say, f that. Let's run with that analogy, though. Our lives are works of art, sure. But we are the artists. We have the pencils and the pastels and paints and brushes in our hands. Every once in a while, we meet someone or have an experience that sends a bolt of inspiration through us, and that inspiration drives us to add shape and color to our life's canvas. Sometimes we surprise ourselves with what shows up on there. Sometimes other people come by and deface the canvas in some disgusting way, or there's an accident and some paint gets spilled on it. But the paint only dries when we're dead. And Bob Ross taught me many years ago how beautiful wet on wet paintings can be. We can paint over the things that we don't like anymore. It takes time. It's really messy at first, and the colors get muddy and are often difficult to cover completely. But we can get there eventually. It takes our entire lives, but we do finish our own paintings. Until then, the drafts are ours to paint gleefully and experimentally. Always leave room for some happy little clouds.
Let's go back up here now. Now then, let's put some tree trunks. Just pull it right through. There's one. And you have to make some big decisions. How many trees live in your world? 2, 3, you say? All right, there's 3. And you can just go on and put as many or as few as you want in there. It's up to you, however many you want. I'm going to take some yellow ochre.